So first, vitamin B12. So this is one of the most important, it seems like, not only B vitamins, but vitamins in general to consider supplementing with. It's absolutely essential. I mean, it can cause serious issues if you don't have enough B12 in the body. The other thing is that it's reported to be very helpful across the board for people who take it, and there seems to be little to no risk associated with taking additional supplements. So, again, going back to all the plant-based people that are out there, like myself. So, B12 is contained in animal tissues. So, you're getting extra B12 if you're eating animal products. If you don't do that, B12 is created by basically probiotic bacteria in the body, given the mineral cobalamin, and they basically create B12 with that methylcobalamin in a process involving the beneficial bacteria in the body. So that would be the other source. Now, there's some debate about whether the body can actually absorb the methylcobalamin because it's created in the large intestine by the probiotics. And so there's some theories that, well, it needs to be absorbed further up the digestive tract. So, it does seem feasible to me that it still can get absorbed because the large intestine still has a porous lining and still can absorb nutrients. So there seems to be some debate on that, whether or not, you can really absorb the B12 that's created in the body. And therefore, it's considered conventional wisdom that if someone who's plant-based, they're automatically at risk of having low levels of B12. Now, personally, I got testing done, both the blood test and the UMMA urine test. And this was after years of being plant-based, a very long time since I had taken any B12. And my levels were normal. Came back normal. So, but I would consider my gut microbiome at the time was very healthy. I mean, a lot of beneficial probiotics. So that would back up the theory that you can absorb your own B12, get high on your own supply, so to speak. But it is worth acknowledging if you're eating animal products, then you get extra consumption of B12. So you're probably lower risk of not having enough B12 if you are eating animal products. So if you're plant-based, this may be especially important to consider. Now, this brings up another point, which is about testing, and you can get tested as well. But both tests, the blood serum test and the urine test for UMMA, are considered not totally reliable tests. Out of those two, the UMMA test is considered more reliable, but there's a number of cases reported where someone had a good UMMA test showing that their levels were good, but they still responded very positively to additional B12 supplementation. This is what happened with me. And so just because you get your test back and it shows you that your levels are good, it doesn't mean that you should not take B12 supplements. And so ultimately, the UMMA test is the better test. Take it with a grain of salt, but it's still worth taking, I would say. But there's a little bit of nuance. It's not totally black and white. You can find that test at rapidregeneration.com/B12 test. But yeah, B12 is super important. It supports the nervous system, nerve tissue, circulatory function, heart health, immune health, DNA synthesis, brain cells, red blood cells, bone health, vision and eye health, healthy mood balance, energy creation, healthy skin, hair, and nails. So you definitely want to make sure you have enough of B12. And if you don't, some problems may include with not having enough B12, exhaustion, low energy, headaches, anemia, irritability, degeneration of the spine, cognitive impairment, intestinal gut issues, fertility issues, immune system weakness, muscle weakness, aches and pains in connective tissues. So definitely figure this one out. It could potentially add years to your life, or increase your quality of life, if you solve a major deficit in this area. Now, when you supplement with B12, you would want to take methylcobalamin, would be the best one, followed by hydroxycobalamin and adenosylcobalamin. Those three. You want to avoid taking cyanocobalamin. This is like the most common form of B12 that's in a lot of supplement products and energy drinks. Cyanocobalamin is completely synthetic. It's derived from cyanide, so avoid that one at all costs. I personally like under the tongue liquid form of B12. The theory is that the B12 can be deposited in the bloodstream when you take it under the tongue. Some people like tablets, under the tongue tablets. I haven't found a good source of those that doesn't have any toxic fillers. And then other people find they respond best to an injection in the blood of B12. Personally, I get a little freaked out with injections, but some people just don't seem to respond well to supplementing orally. So, I understand. Okay, lastly, about B12, it can also assist greatly if you have a certain genetic mutation. Now, there's another segment dedicated to gene testing and DNA testing, and based on certain genetic mutations, B vitamins can target specific mutations to help to cover that dysfunction. And so specifically, if you have so refer to that segment about understanding the DNA test and the 5 genes that you can test for and different things you could do. But specifically, if you get results back and you have the MTR or MTRR genetic mutation, and the enzyme activity is low in those genes, then B12 is a critical part of the functioning involving those methylation processes. So B12 could be a great benefit if you're having those issues. And it could also be one reason why some individuals display a greater need for B12 than others, or require a higher dosage than others, because maybe they have that gene break. So definitely would recommend testing your urine for MMA. Take those results with a grain of salt, but it's helpful to have. And also testing your saliva for your DNA. And there seems to be very little to no downside supplementing with B12. So maybe just give it a try and see how you feel.